to feel like Formula One is I don't understand the rules.
The greatest Formula One champion of all time.
And Formula One is that it's like a traveling
circus of Spain
and adrenaline.
Except I am from Formula.
People know NASCAR, but people don't, because Formula One is like, it's a whole different thing.
Box and pick and firm, and welcome to the Redefined F1 show, the show where we put American subtitles in sport of Formula One. I am your host, Frederick Kernigan. With me, as always, my co-host, Michael Zimmerman.
What's up?
Today, we're doing our preview episode for the 2022 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That took a lot of effort.
Good job, Fred.
This is actually our eighth take in this. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and go over our award winners from last week, the most previous race week, which was the Australian GP. The winner of the Dale Earnhardt, the Dale, was the scooter driver. Golf clap for the scooter driver.
Good job carrying Seb.
he and Seb are BFFs. Want to do the next one?
Yeah. Okay. So for the Peyton Manning Award, the good old Alex Albon 57 lap race was the winner over Lance Stroll. So golf
clap for Alex Albon, apprentice tire god. For the Mark Sanchez, the meme of the weekend, it was Timmy's meme. Which one was it?
Charles Leclerc's fastest lap, or asking to get fastest lap after already having 8. And then we had George Russell telling Lewis Hamilton, the future's now.
Time is now, man. And our really crappy day or crappy weekend was Carlos Sainz.
And to finish it up, the Shaq or the Big Body Award goes to the one and only Sergio Perez.
The Mexican Minister of Defense, baby. But he was
and
attacking.
Offense.
And offense. Now into track time, we're going to be breaking down the quick facts, and then we're also going to give our pre-prediction of what we're going to rank this race. So the entire circuit is 3.05 miles. It's going to be 63 laps, 19 turns, and 1 DRS zone down the main straight. What are your thoughts on this, Timmy?
So there's rumors, or not rumors, the forecast is like it's going to be a wet race. So I feel like the rain just always adds like an extra bit of spice into racing.
They call it the great equalizer.
The great equalizer. Yeah.
Because even if you have the best car on a wet day, anyone can lose it.
Anyone can lose it. Anyone can win it is how I think.
Exactly.
So I'm expecting, my pre-prediction is this is going to be an 8 out of 10 race.
8 out of 10 race.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I feel like 8 out of 10 is a pretty safe bet. So I'm going to also go 8 out of 10.
I think there's going to be at least 2 spin outs if it's raining. If it's dry, then it's probably going to be I'd say it wouldn't be as exciting.
Yeah. But I think you had mentioned before we started recording that it's not going to rain as much during the actual race.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll just spice up the qualifying.
It's supposed to be raining all day Friday, and then more than likely on Saturday, but then on Sunday it's not. It's like I think it was like 25% to like 40% of it raining, so not as likely. But yeah, so the qualifying should be, if it's in the rain, you should get hopefully some crazy positions by some people that you wouldn't expect. Joe, top 6.
We're going to move on to the 3 storylines that we're going to be monitoring going into the race, or at least that we feel like should be talked about going into the race. The first, as always, is going to be our Universal storyline. Then Timmy will tell us his, and then I'll give you guys mine. So the first Universal storyline, we tried our best up until now to avoid it, but everyone knows it's the first sprint weekend. With this weekend being a sprint weekend, the whole format has changed. No longer is it Friday FP1 and 2, Saturday FP3, and then qualifying, and then Sunday is all day race. Now it is Friday FP1 qualifying, normal qualifying, Q1, Q2, Q3. And so Saturday you have your practice and then sprint race, which is a 25% version of the race. and then Sunday you have your full race. As confusing as that all may seem, it's really just for us as fans to get as much racing as possible, because as much as, you know, people who really geek out on F1 like FP1 and 2 and 3, I think no one's going to argue with, you know, two, doing air quotes here, but 2 races in a weekend. Because
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the sprint weekend. So basically, to simplify it, Friday you have your normal qualifying,
Mhm.
and then Saturday you have a teaser of the race,
Yes,
and then Sunday you have the actual race.
yes.
So that's kind of how I just see sprint qualifying. It's like it makes it a lot more fun, in my
Could you
opinion.
imagine if they did this for football?
Oh,
Like,
like on Saturday we're gonna play 1 quarter, and then we'll play the
so
full game the next day.
if football's equivalent for this would be like, there will be no coin toss on the Sunday game. Saturday game, whoever, you know, leads after the first quarter will get the ball.
Yeah, or whoever has like the most yards or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like
yeah.
some type of
That'd be crazy.
yeah. And then before overtime, they have like a little short one to determine. No more coin toss.
That's how you guys fix
No more
overtime,
coin toss.
NFL. Get rid of coin tosses. Do a
Sprint football.
overtime. That's hella funny. Quick question: what do you think is going to be the more exciting of the two?
Of the regular qualifying sprint, or
Yeah,
sprint in the race?
we'll do qualifying and then the qualifying race, so the sprint race, because I think nothing beats the real race, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the sprint race will be interesting, just because it's supposed to be raining during the sprint race and not so much during the real race. So I think, as we said earlier, rain's the greatest equalizer. It should give opportunities to the midfield to be really shaken up and maybe people falling upwards.
I think I want to say the sprint race, but last year, judging off of the 3 sprint races, the teams, it looks like certain or most of the teams are like, all right, if you make up places during the start, which, you know, is the best time to make or lose places in a race. If you make a place, go ahead and just hold it. But most of them weren't letting their drivers really race because there wasn't as many points up like on the table. And they're like, just if you gain 1 place, that's a big W for us, hold it so we can, start higher for the Sunday race. But now that they've extended the points, I feel like it's going to give more, tease a little bit more teams to actually participate. So I think I'm going to go anti-history and go that this is going to be a pretty good qualifying or sprint race. I'm sorry.
Sprint over qualifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because instead of 3 points, which is nothing, it's now 8. And the top 8 also gets points. So there's definitely something worth fighting for now, more so than last year.
I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. I thought that was stupid to have it only the top 3 get points. That's so dumb.
I don't know.
That's like you're like excluding because I feel like in most F1 seasons there's like 2 clear favorites, maybe 3. Like we're hoping for 3 like later in the season, but it's just going to be the 2 top teams fighting over which one gets the real pole or whatnot. So
yeah, the only reason I can think about it is like when you're creating something new, you don't want to overcommit, I guess. So they didn't want to like first time testing out, they didn't want to give too many points to
that's a
then
good
like
devil's advocate.
Yeah, they didn't want to give too many points to sprint weekend that might have determined the championship, and it like if it had more points, it possibly could have. So it's like you don't want the fans hating something that you just brought up.
That's
so
fair.
If it's kind of like meaningless and like see how people like the race and the format, then it's like, okay, let's make it more meaningful by adding more points.
I think it was well received last year, so
yeah,
makes sense of why they're bringing it back. A bunch of the circuits were asking for like we want to host a sprint, we want to host a sprint. So it wasn't just a W for the fans, it was W for I guess everyone involved, all 3 parties, the circuit, F1, and the fans themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
But so yeah, do you want to move on to your storyline?
Yeah, so the storyline that I'm focused on, and I think people should be paying attention to, is Alpine have reported to bring or are going to bring significant upgrades to this race. It was reported that apparently the first like European race is usually the time that teams start bringing their first wave of upgrades. Uh, so Alpine mentioned that they're trying to improve the aerodynamics of their car, and they're making adjustments to the floor of the car, which is going to do stuff that I am not smart enough to understand or can explain it.
It's above our pay grade, cuz.
Yeah, we're here to simplify F1, not make it complicated.
We are not those guys. We are not those guys.
So it'll be interesting to see how well they perform this week, especially with how their drivers have actually been driving pretty well the last weekends, minus Alonso's unfortunate engine shutoff crash. But yeah, they've been racing really well, and the car's been like pretty quick. It's been strong, and hasn't really been like super weak in areas. So hopefully, obviously, the upgrades, you assume that you're going to get better, but that's not always the case in reality. So it'll be interesting to see like what teams you can see significant upgrades.
I think
during
it's
this
I
race.
think it's funny that Mercedes bringing their first upgrades will kind of like foreshadow what their customer teams do. Like if they solve whatever problem they got, because then their problem trickles down to all their customer teams. So they're not going to copy their solution, but they're going to adapt it in their own ways. But Alpine, they don't supply anyone else with crap. so them like getting upgrades and stuff, it don't matter to nobody else. It just affects them. So they could be either like huge winners on their own right, or huge losers and they don't affect no one else. I'm hoping it brings it to a little bit closer, because taking minus Ferrari and all the hype that the Ferrari cars they're getting, because Ferrari's obviously looking like the most well-rounded solid team, like has the pace, has the reliability, everything. But the other car that's been getting the most positive talk is probably the Alpine. I think before the season, I was down for the Alonso like push to maybe join, like throw his name in the hat for drivers or something. But maybe I'm on board. Give this man a car.
Yeah.
Like I need to vote for some vet. Seb's struggling right now, and that's not his fault. So I got to vote for the other vet.
I know Alonso doing Jerry Rice numbers out here at age of 40, insane. And
nuts.
I'm also happy that Ocon's doing well after I just butcher his name.
Everything's right in the world once again. Oh, if it's good upgrades.
If it's good upgrades.
Yeah. I think the team that should be scared to hear this would probably be Mercedes, because
Mercedes and McLaren.
Oh, yeah, McLaren too. I was just reading a thing on Mercedes that since they're like kind of comfortable where they're at right now with Red Bull struggling because of DNFs, and then I guess they're good fortune, they're pushing back some upgrades, so they're not bringing their first wave until Spain, I think. So
and that's 2 races from now. I
think so, something like that. Check. But yeah, I think Mercedes were like,
Yeah.
They did what? It is in 2 races from now. We got the US Grand Prix, or we have Miami right after this, and then we have Spain. So they're waiting a cool minute. But we'll see how that source turns out. Onto my storyline, we got Timmy had mentioned it earlier. We had like gone into it a little bit already, but this is the first wet weekend we're gonna experience. So it'll be interesting to see how the ground effect like works in the rain. Like I also want to see how hard it rains too, because if it's like some crazy rain we're never going to see anywhere else, then it'll probably just be a one-off. But if it's like regular rain, then I think it'll be a good precedent for the future wet races. So I think us having our predictions are going to be a little bit scrambled this weekend because of that like it factor.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting how the cars, like the porpoising effect that they've been experiencing all
Oh,
season. It'd be really interesting to see like how a wet track really.
maybe they get faster because dolphins.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The tires are slower, but the porpoising is more intense. But yeah, so that's what I'm really interested in to see how the cars handle the rain because they do like testing like during the preseason, but they're testing it spraying water on the track. It's just
Yeah,
to kind of like more so test the tire and like how
yeah,
the car reacts in like on a wet track. But like when it's actually raining and like the wetness and the cold is like all around the car, like you can't really test that.
that's not a like a, I guess like the barometer isn't accurate. I think
Yeah,
that's the,
exactly.
yeah. But there's some teams that I think it was Williams and maybe Mercedes when they were doing their shakedown, because UK it's pretty glum sometimes and it rains, so they went and did their shakedown on a wet Silverstone, but I don't think it was dumping
No,
or like even like really raining. So like I think most teams have gone into this pretty like what's gonna happen.
yeah.
But going off of last year, there was really only one overtaking spot. That was the main straight. Maybe another one if I'm not if I'm remembering this correct. But there was really only one like spot to overtake. So hopefully with how the cars have been reacting or not reacting but performing over like racing wise, hopefully there are more than just only watch this section of the track because that's the only time or place that a car can pass. So we'll see.
Yeah, true. I think there's definitely going to be more wheel to wheel action just because of how like the cars have been performing this year. But if it is raining, that will kind of like I think reduce the amount that we'll see.
Someone's just got to send it real saucy in the wet.
YOLO, bro.
So those are our three storylines that we feel like you guys and all of us should be paying attention to. Now we're on to me and Timmy's favorite segment, the three-piece prediction segment, where we offer three predictions that we could see happening in this upcoming race. So far in this season, we only have one race, the Australian GP. We're tied 2-2. So how it goes is I'll make my first prediction, Timmy will make his, and we'll go snake-wise. My first prediction is Lando Norris makes Q3 in the traditional qualifying.
I feel like that's another low ball.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I mean, he made Q3 last week.
Look at this. I'm gonna try to. It's what I have to do to like promote my thing is also crap on my thing. So give me a second. I have to go a long way around. But so Lando Norris or McLaren has done well the past two races.
Mhm.
Australia and Abu Dhabi, not Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. So those are really fast tracks. Imola only having one like DRS zone, not a real fast track. It's just a smaller track. So their car, and I don't think I've read anything about them bringing upgrades. So it sounds like they're bringing the same car. Maybe Ricardo struggles, but I don't want to say that. So I said this is a very nice way in saying that Lando Norris does good still. But yeah, I think Lando Norris makes Q3 also because it's raining and Lando Norris is somehow pretty good in the rain. So yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
There's that one time that he wasn't so good in the rain.
I was telling Timmy that in the rain, where it goes with Lando in the rain, the two moments last year, he was doing great, doing like super good, and then immediately the biggest L taker because in Spa he was like lighting up Q2 times. Then Q3 rolls around. He's the first one on track. Granted, it's like dumping. He sends it down, Eau Rouge, and then crashes. Really nasty crash. But he got everyone excited because he was looking to do good, and then ends up being just placed P10 because he crashed. And then in Russia, he was winning the race, absolutely just cooking, flying, comfortable. No. and refuses wets or
Lando, you want
intermediate.
wet tires? You want wet tires?
He refuses intermediates, and then immediately I forget if he scores points or not, but he went from scoring his first win to I think he placed 6th or 7th, something like that. Yeah, but so hopefully Lando Norris, his moment gets him to Q3, and then his moment at like his bad moment will probably happen after that.
Okay. Now that you've explained it,
Yeah.
I get it now. It's not a fast track, so the
Yeah.
car is probably not going to perform as well. My first prediction is a little spicy. I'm believing in the Alpine upgrades, and I'm saying both of them qualify after the sprint race top 6.
Okay. Top 6, huh?
Yeah, I think the upgrades help them get a faster pace than the Mercedes. And McLaren, as you mentioned, aren't probably not gonna be as fast on a slower track. So I think that Esteban and Alonso, how they've been racing, they've finished top 6
In the sprint race.
in the sprint race. So they're gonna start within the top 6 of the real race.
I think if you get one wrong, looking at your other ones, it'll be this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is definitely my first one's always gonna be a banger. Like that's gonna be the most spiciest one.
Yeah,
And
your
then
biggest reach.
And then I'm gonna like work my way down from there.
My second prediction is I'll ride your Alpine hype, but I won't ride it, as crazy as you are. Timmy has the first class VIP like seat to the Alpine hype train. I bought coach. All right, I'm sitting coach. I think Alonso beats one Merc in the real race. So whether Lewis has another bummy day or George has another incident like he did last year and crashes, hopefully is safe afterwards. But I think Alonso beats one Mercedes like factory driver.
Do you want to double or nothing that prediction?
What do you mean? Do I want to double or nothing that prediction?
So guess the Mercedes that he beats, and if you get it right, you get 2 points for it.
But if I get it wrong, no, I'm gonna take the easy. Listen, I am not a gambler.
Boo, boo, come on. It's imaginary points, Fred. Have some fun.
Nope, because at the end of the season, I'm gonna have more points than you. That's all that matters.
Oh my gosh. You're so lame.
What's your second? Don't call me lame. I'm looking at your second prediction. That's Timmy's taking handouts here.
Hey, what I say? Bold walk down. Latifi's gonna crash. That's my second prediction.
All right, since that's so broad, sprint race, or qualifying?
Both. No, he's gonna crash during qualifying.
Okay.
One of the two qualifying. That's what I'll say.
Okay. I hope he's okay. Once again, I'm not hoping for crashes.
He's gonna be fine. Like his crashes are little baby wall bumps, like they're nothing. He's not going high speed or anything, anyways. But it's gonna be raining, and he's gonna spin out into a barrier. That's how it's gonna happen.
He's gonna take a trip.
Yeah, he's gonna take a trip to the gravel and then knock it out.
If I'm trying to segue this into my third prediction, but I can't because then I feel like Latifi is just gonna start low. So if he were to spin, he wouldn't take a big L. But my third prediction is there's at least one like big loser during the sprint race. So whether that's someone crashes out or someone, because it will be raining, I think someone spins like top 10 and like falls back. So there will be one big loser.
I can definitely see that happening. Either someone like anti-stalls or they, like you said, spin on the start, and who knows, like maybe a Mick Schumacher sneaks in, gets some points, or starts P10 or P whatever. That'd be really cool.
That'd be nuts if you get his first points during a sprint weekend.
Oh,
Or like a
oh,
sprint,
that
yeah.
that would be the first time, or well, the other rookies have that chance too.
Well, Joe already has points from week 1.
Oh yeah, that's not his first point.
Yuki scored points last year with Alpha. Mazepin placed 21st out of 20 drivers.
Joe's really the only new rookie, isn't he?
Yeah, Joe's the only rookie this year. And the other rookie last year, there was 3. There was Schumacher,
Yuki,
Mazepin.
Mazepin.
Mazepin. Yeah. So, yeah.
First points in a sprint weekend. Yeah, that'd be that's history right there.
What's your? I'm rooting for your third prediction. I just want you to know that.
Obviously, like why wouldn't you be? He's your boy.
I don't have his picture hung up right now because I had to buy poster putty.
Oh, so he's not your boy.
I'll just hold this right here while you make the prediction.
So for my third prediction, I'm having the Mexican Minister of Offense once again reaching podium.
Oh, Checo! You guys can't see it, but I'm holding up my Checo poster.
He's been driving really well this whole season, and I think he will once again find his way in the top 3 at the end of the race. I maybe I'm crazy, but if Max finishes, I think he's winning the race.
Max is a good driver in the wet, so I wouldn't call you crazy, but it would depend.
Also think the rain will cool off his engine so it won't shut off on him. He'll actually have a functioning car, so he's real dangerous.
I don't need coolant. I have the rain.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Perez gets a podium. When I was thinking of what I wanted to like make one of my predictions, I put double Ferrari podium, but I was like, no. If I'm going to root for a double podium, it's going to be for Red Bull, Max and Checo. So I'm
Red Bull 1-2 incoming.
I hope so. Fingers crossed and on my toes. Any closing thoughts for our preview?
Closing thoughts.
Do you want me to go?
Yes, please.
My closing thought is there is huge rumors that South African Grand Prix might be coming back to Kyalami. So fingers crossed. I've only driven that in the racing games, obviously, but I'm game to make this as worldwide as possible. And I mean Formula One, obviously. Like we have multiple repeats, I guess, in countries. Like this is in Italy, but the main Italy track is obviously Monza. So I'm always game to, instead of doubling up countries, why don't just open it up? So bringing back a South African GP, I'm all aboard, especially Kyalami. Seems like a really good track. So all for it. You can take away one of the American races. Is all I care. Take away Miami. That's so far away from me. Vegas is closer.
I'm actually all for adding more American races. I think we need to bring Indy back. No. Closing thoughts. Sprint weekend. It's gonna make this weekend a little more exciting, I feel like. And I'm hoping that it rains. Like obviously I hope it's not like terrible, but you know, I like a little bit of rain, make it a little more interesting.
Timmy appreciates the wet.
The man was too stunned to speak.
And with that being said, you guys have a good one.
Explain the difference.
Yeah, Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport.